Alright, this video is going to cover the basic information resources that you can use for your basic information sheet in the Dream Vacation Project. As I mentioned earlier, one of the resources was the World Atlas. Make note of, you can probably Google World Atlas and pull this resource up. It is an interactive map, so as you hover your mouse over the different continents, you can click and it will bring up information regarding that area or that country. Evidently all of these areas right here could be included. I'm going to pick a different country so that you can kind of see how it breaks down the states. Australia doesn't have states, so if we go into Europe, not states but countries themselves, if you go into this particular continent, you can hover over the different names. In this case they're red, and you can click on that specific country, and that'll kind of get you started on searching for your information for that country if that is your choice. This has a lot of information in it. It's a great starting off point because some people don't know what continents they want to, what countries are within each continent, so this is a great way to start, is in the World Atlas. Now the next resource is called the World Factbook, and this is great. It's pretty adult looking, very serious, but it does have information that you would be able to find about your country. Again, over here you do have an interactive map, so you could click and it would bring up a list of different countries within that continent. Now underneath the main information, and at this point I do want to emphasize how important it is to bookmark or add websites to your mobile bookmarking programs if you're using Symbaloo. In this case I would add this to my list so that I could refer to it later, create little shortcuts for yourself. And as we look at CIA World Factbook, you'll notice that they do have headings. So as you're looking at your personal or your basic information sheet, you'll notice that you're asked a variety of characteristics about that country, like what continent is it on, what type of government, current leaders, population, and so on. And so you should be able to find that information in these headings. Feel free to mix and match these resources. You don't have to use one for all of your information. But as you look at your basic information, you should be able to interpret what each question on basic information means. For example, primary language. You want to give me the #1 language that they speak. Now I would assume that language would fall under people in society. So you can kind of fill your way around in the different headings, but I'm going to go into people in society and see if they have language. Yes, they do. So when we look up like the primary of something, we want to know that the overall majority of the people speak this language. So in this case, its primary language is Arabic, and then they will probably list some other languages as well. Primary religion, same thing. They'll usually list the first one, and all I want to know is the primary one. Some other requests on the basic information sheet include like climate. So when we look at these headings, where would climate probably be? I would assume it's under geography. So as I scroll down, I'm looking for climate. Climate is actually what is their weather like typically, and so I find it here, and so this is what you would list under climate. You'll notice that it does ask for landforms. Landforms is actually terrain. What type of landforms do they have? The United States has mountains, plains, swamp area, deserts. What kind of terrain does your country actually have? When we look at something like industries, and I'll kind of define industries for you. Industries is how they can make money. And money usually goes along with economy. So when you click on economy, you can look for the heading for industries and see what their industries are. How does their country make money? And so this would kind of explain that. Those are probably the most commonly asked questions that I've had for answering the basic information. And again, you're not required to stick with just one of these resources. If we go with Atlapedia, This is a little bit more visibly friendly. It would probably be geared more toward high school kids. You can click on countries A to Z, and you could find the letter that your country starts with. Let's say I am interested in going to Germany. It will process the page, and then you will have a list of countries that you can choose from. So then all you have to do is scroll down and find the country that you're interested in. And again, this is kind of laid out with headings. A lot of words, so please don't copy paste. Just give me the general idea for your basic info. And you can scroll down and look for that information on the websites. Again, major industries would look like that. Fact Monster. Fact Monster is a little bit more elementary looking, but it does have good information. It is a .com site, so you'll have some pop-ups probably from different sponsors. But when you go into Fact Monster, the quickest way to find information about countries is to go into World, Countries, and then you can scroll down and look at the list of countries that they have. Click on the country that you're interested in. Again, they have different sections for the different questions on your basic info. They have quick facts over here on this side, and this should also be helpful toward your research toward the basic info. Finally, you will be translating information. If you did not choose an English-speaking country, then you'll need to go into just an online translator. Bing has a great online translator, so you could click on that, type in the information, and then get the translation. And I'll leave that up to you to figure out. But that concludes the video on using the different resources for finding your basic information. Again, once you've finished basic information, go ahead and submit it into Edmodo assignment post, and then you can move on to the next block on your scorecard.